Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this is part 2 of the big homebrew, and what we're doing now is the actual beer has been fermenting now for 3 weeks. It's a big beer and I just wanted it to keep going, didn't want to sort of interfere with it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm taking the blow off tube and then I'm going to put the airflow or air lock, air bubble lock, bubbler, different names for it. I'm going to put that in here, but before I do that I'm going to take a measurement so I can test. I'll put some in here, you see, some of the beer, test what the gravity is. Then I'm going to add 400 grams of sweet cherries. Just got some cherries from the supermarket, bag of frozen cherries. Going to put it straight in. I could transfer it into another Demi-john on top of the cherries, but it's all, sometimes there's all different opinions out there. I've done it before where I've done it straight on top of the cherries, but I'm going to actually this time put the cherries straight in. I don't want to, it's only yeast at the bottom there and a bit of trub, and it's going to be filtered out anyway with one of my little filter bags when I get the auto-syphon when it comes to bottling. So I'm not too bothered about that. So cherries are going to go straight in, and then in a couple of days the cacao nibs will be going into it as well, because it is the Imperial Cherry Porter. So the first thing I've got to do now is take this off, get a measurement, do the measure, then get the cherries in. So what I do, it's quite simple. Make sure this is sanitised, so it's been washed, it's sanitised. Take this rubber cap off. Like I say, I always like to give it another blast anyway. And just right. So I've got the glass ready. Into the beer. Seal at the bottom. And that's enough for a sample. It's all I need to do the gravity, which is great because I use this refractometer. One of these refractometers. The idea of that is you put a bit of the wort, or the actual beer now, on here, and then there's an online calculator which will do the calculation for you, so that works. Really simple. But what I'll do now, I'll just put this, spray the cap again, put the cap back on whilst I get the cherries ready, and then once the cherries are in, back into the fermentation fridge. So yeah, that can go out of the way now, that can be washed, blow off tube and tub, and I'll be back in a minute with the measurement and I'll put the cherries in. Okay, cheers. You can see it's a little sample, that's all I need. It's not like I need a big one for a hydrometer. Put this now on the top, just a little, basically that's all I need. Then I put the lens over the top, and then all I've got to do is, like a pirate, I look in here and we get a measurement. So I'll show you that in a minute. So hopefully you can see that. That's what I basically see when I look through it. The actual reading is 1044. It's not the best visual there, but that's just giving you some sort of idea when I look through that, what I see. Showing you the refractometer. So it came out at a 1016. So the beer currently is standing at a 9% Imperial Porter. Got to add the cherries, and I'm sure these will bring a bit more fermentable sugars. Definitely that yeast in there is going to start to eat some of the sugars and the fructose in this, and that ABV is going to go up. It's an Imperial Porter, so I've got no problems with that. I've just tasted it. It's really nice as it is, so it's a great porter already. But I'm just going to put these cherries in now. Another way of getting them in, I'll get Mrs. B to snip the bag for me. So because they're coming straight in frozen, I'm not worrying about them being sanitised. But I've got another one of these cans. Big hole in the bottom. Spray it again. Get the sanitiser on there. And just like when I do dry hopping, it just helps me. It's just a bit of a guide really. So I'll take this off. Put this on top, and then hopefully it helps me when I'm pouring the cherries in. So I don't know if you can see that. There you go. 1, 2. You just start to fall in. You can hear them. You can't really see them there. That was obviously going to happen when a couple get trapped, but there you go. They're floating. Some are floating, some have sank. Absolutely fine with me. I could have made like a syrup. I could have got these on the stove, heated them up, and made it a syrup and poured it in. But I just wanted to go with the whole cherry. Less concerns about the sanitation and stuff. So yeah. So I'll carry on doing this, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so that's all the cherries in. You can see the little funnel. I'll get that. Pass that to Mrs. B. Don't put any of that staining anywhere. This will go back on. Like I say, back in the fermenter now. A few more days, and then I will roast some cacao nibs, and then I'll put that in. And I'd say in about 7 days' time, I'll check it again, gravity, see if it's dropped. Well, actually, the thing that will happen now, that gravity will rise because obviously some sugar's gone in. But I know that beer is 9% at that point. I can do some calculations online again, where you add fruits. So there is another one. It's a lot more complicated, so I'm not going to do that now. And then we'll see what the final gravity is in about 7 days. Okay, I think that's about as much of an update on this one. Okay, thank you for what? Thank you for watching. I'm talking gibberish. Mrs. B's lost it. And I'll see you. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.